I would show you my six-pack abs, but I can't find them. Sorry. There's no Colton tonight. Oh my gosh. But welcome to Isolation Comedy by Comedy Wham. Colton has left us for the night. Can you believe it? So tonight, this entire show will be dedicated in his honor. Every single comic is contractually obligated to say something terrible about Colton. No, I'm just kidding. We love Colton. He is launching a new show, which is a pretty cool thing in these days. Socially responsible, safe, with masks, distancing, and all that good stuff. But he is braving the new frontier. Meanwhile, you are here with Comedy Wham's Isolation Comedy. Comedy Wham, if you haven't heard about us, we are a website, and we've done interview podcasts, album reviews, whole bunch of stuff. Live Austin comedy calendar. Anybody hear about live Austin comedy these days? Well, there's actually a few shows starting to pop up, so hopefully comedy is not dead. And so tonight we bring you 10 amazing comics, a guest host. I'm Valerie Lopez, and we hope you have a really fantastic night. If you love comedy and you love supporting comedy, donate to the Comedy Wham PayPal. We don't keep anything. We share it all with the comics that you'll see tonight. And if you particularly love somebody, then you can Venmo their information right there on their title card when they appear. You'll see all of their information, and follow them on their social media and support their comedy efforts. That's pretty much it for the announcements for me. I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts this evening. I will not be talking about flies. I will not be talking about super spreaders, although, my boyfriend likes to. No, sorry, I'm not going to go there. There's children in the other room. What I will talk about is that it has been going on 7 months now that my child has been home, schooling from home, and it's been a long 7 months, to be honest. And I think any parents in the audience could relate. I wanted to share something that happened because, of course, he's doing a lot of schoolwork online, and he asks me questions about how to complete his homework. And I haven't been in school in at least 800 years, so I have no idea how any of this works. So I always Google. Anytime he asks me a question, I just go straight to Google. Well, one time, and I'm just, I don't like it when comics do this. They pull up their phones on their comedy shows, but this is online comedy, so the rules are different. But he was Googling something, and he took my phone to do this, and I said, "Why'd you take my phone? Give me your phone back." So I took my phone back, and he had actually Googled, "Why is my mom?" And let me tell you, the predictive text responses on this were highly disturbing. The very first one is, "Why is my mom so mean?" Really didn't like that. And the second one, as if the dagger wasn't deep enough. "Why is my mom always mad at me?" Why is my mom so strict? "Well, honey, you have to stay home all the time because otherwise everybody's dead." Then the next one, it goes right back to it. "Why is my mom mad at me? Why is my mom controlling?" Come on, I'm not that controlling. And then here we go. "Why is my mom crying?" Well, it's because you've spent 7 months at home. Why else? So turnabout is fair play, of course. So I had to Google, "Why is my son?" Because of course I did, because I'm a bitter bitch. I'm very vindictive. So of course the first one, "Why is my son so angry?" Because he has to spend 7 months solid with me. "Why is my son so annoying?" Nailed it. Why is my son so clingy? And then, "Why is my son so mean to me?" Why is my son not eating? Why is my son so weird? Oh, this isn't in the phone anymore. These are just random thoughts that I have. So, if you want to have fun, if you're living with a significant other or, burdened by a permanent roommate during these COVID times, then just Google, why is my fill in the blank so, and then see what the predictive text says. It's a fun party game. Speaking of fun party games, how about we get the show going? An amazing lineup. I'm super, super excited for the comics that you will see tonight. Some have been on our show before. They're amazing. And we have some new faces on our show. We're super excited about welcoming them. And let's kick this show off. Paul Wiener. Woo!
Hey, hopefully I'm not frozen in carbonite. You know what though? Vikram was talking about cocaine earlier, and I got asked today by somebody. They asked me if I was on cocaine. Do I look like I'm on cocaine? I was like, I don't do fucking cocaine. It fooled me into thinking I was going to get shit done. Anyway, more important note. Speaking of drugs, fucking Donald Trump, okay, is like really fucking high. I want to meet his doctors. They've mixed him up a cocktail of psychoactive steroids and fetal tissue that got him so fucking high that they found Keith Richards at an abortion clinic trying to shoot up fetuses. That's how good. That's how fucking good the fucking drugs are that they're giving Donald Trump. It's fucking crazy. Everything's crazy though. It's really good to see everybody. There's some comics coming up that I love to death. If they can hear me, I just want you to know I don't want you to die. I just love you to death. Let's be clear on that. So anyway, the election's coming up soon, and I was trying to figure out who to vote for. I'm an undecided voter, and I basically decided I'm whoever's dick I'm willing to suck is who I'm going to vote for. And most people are like, how the fuck do you decide that? And it's like, we got Joe Biden who like they show him in slow motion, giving people hugs and smelling their hair. And you know what? All year, I've wanted somebody to do that to me. Just hold me and smell my hair for one fucking minute. I would fucking do anything for that. And you know what? Like, I got to admit, like, I got some daddy issues. So he's pushing it there too, you know what I mean? So, but then I really thought about it, and I was like, Trump might have like an orange skin tone, and I've heard he has mushroom cock, and he's got COVID, and he's ugly, but he pays really well for blowjobs. So I need my stimulus, and I would go down on him like a pigeon in the fucking park, just fucking, or like bobbing for apples with my hand behind my back. I need the fucking money. 4 more years, okay, I can handle it for what? Stormy got $168,000. I would do it for $168 at this point. It's crazy. I mean, COVID and the quarantine have just changed the world for me. I have a 90-year-old grandmother. She's my Jewish grandmother. She was liberated from a concentration camp when she was 15 years old. She just turned 90. And they finally let me go see her at the senior center. And as I was, I was so excited. And as I was going in, the doctor like grabbed me and he's like, listen, I got to tell you something really important. Your grandmother has ADD. And I was like, how does a 90-year-old woman get attention deficit disorder? And they go, well, these old people, they watch Fox News all day long. And they're constantly switching the narrative to keep up with Trump. So the old people all have ADD now. And I was like, okay, we'll deal with that. It's better than dementia. And then he stops and he goes, but that's not the bad news. He goes, she also has HDD. And I was like, my grandma's in high definition? What's going on? He's like, no, she has Holocaust denier disorder. Now, I don't know how this happened, but when I went to go see her, the first thing she says to me is, how's my little proud boy? And I'm just like, oh my God. She starts screaming, make Germany great again. And I'm like, Grandma, look, we're Jewish. We see, I gotta make it come close in the bad dimly light here in the bottom of the institution I'm residing in the basement. I'm like, Grandma, we're Jewish. And she says, no, we're not. We're not Jewish. We're gonna make Germany great again. And I said, Grandma, you have tattoos on your arm. You have numbers on your arm. What do you think that's from? She goes, those are my lucky numbers that they gave me. So that's been my 2020. You know what I mean? It's just a total clusterfuck. Here I am now, this Jew that my grandma thinks, I mean, look at me. Do I look Jewish, or do I look like the guy that would have shot my grandma in the concentration camp? I pretty much look like the guy that would have shot my grandma in the concentration camp. And I've considered it now because she's got this HDD. So I'm stuck too. Like most of you guys are probably out of work. Work's been really tough. And, you know, I trying to find a job. So I got a job as a bouncer at Applebee's. Because that's basically all I'm qualified to do. You know, it's either like kill my grandma in a concentration camp or work as a bouncer at an Applebee's. So if you're, by the way, if you're in the neighborhood, you know, come visit, you know, bring your mask. I do the mask check. And, you know what I want to know though? What is an Applebee? Because it does, like I've heard of killer bees, and they're scary. And then there's like Cardi B, very scary. And then there's herpes, which will fucking sting. So you gotta be careful with that. It's crazy, you know? COVID, herpes, it's all fucking, it's just, the world's ending. The world as we know it is ending, and I'm really digging it though. I feel like I was made for this. Like, I love Valerie talking about, she's like, certified punk rocker. It's like, yeah, nihilistic. It's like I was made for end times. You know, it's like I grew up in the Reagan era of anarchy and peace, which makes no fucking sense. It doesn't exist, but here we are. Here we are with the end of the world, doing live comedy streaming here, and it's crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm really glad to see you guys though. I don't even know if the clock's running. I do want to leave you guys. So, I do want to leave you guys with this, so that, you know, I try really hard to offend people, but I can't. You know what I mean? It's like, at best, I might be insensitive, you know? So like what I say to people basically is just fuck you then, you know, just fuck you. You know, if you're not offended, you know, you should be. And I saw this guy today, he was flying a sign, and he was a total tweaker, speed fiend. And I said, I called him that, and he goes, you can't call me that. He goes, that's offensive. He goes, I'm a Mexican American. Good seeing you guys. Be kind to each other. We'll get through 2020 because 2021 is going to fuck you in the ass.
And let's get ready to welcome for, I don't know, maybe third time back. Super excited from the great state of New Jersey. Who doesn't love New Jersey? Isn't that where Governor Christie is from? Oh, let's not bring it down. Speaking of progressives. Goodness. All right. Well, we are super excited to have our next guest back on the show. She is from New Jersey. She's she's performed at the New York Comedy Club. She was recently on the Concourse Comedy Fest. Say that 3 times fast. Super excited. She's a talented artist and she's really, really funny. Please welcome Kate Hester.
Hi guys, thank you so much. I loved how you just busted out laughing at the mention of the state of New Jersey. You know, we're always the punchline. And I just ordered myself a mask with the state of New Jersey seal on it. So I don't know what that says about me. But anyway, so at the start of all this virus madness, my boyfriend went out and bought all this sherry and port and cognac for some reason. So I've been quarantined with Frasier this whole time, pretty much. He's a musician. I always end up with musicians. My ex-husband was a musician. All the idiots that came in between were musicians. And now I got the current one. I've ingested so much musician semen in my adult years that I should just be able to pick up a guitar and play Wonderwall without ever receiving a single lesson. I got a mammogram a few weeks ago. You got to do that as you get older. Everything was fine. The doctor said my breasts were very dense. And I was like, give them a break. They went to art school, okay? Like, they don't all grow up to be doctors, all right? He told me I needed to drink more milk. So I haven't had a glass of milk in 20 years. So I went out and I bought a carton of milk, and there's no more missing kids on the sides of milk cartons anymore. Like, why not? Like, did they find them all? Found all the kids, you found them. Don't have to look anymore. Sonic recently announced its new cake batter milkshake, because that's where we are as a society now. We're just drinking cake batter. I got up at 5 a.m. the other day. I was like, oh my God, I'm never up this early. I should go jogging or something. Except I was still drunk and also throwing up in the bathroom sink. When a vegan woman gives birth to a baby, do you think she's disappointed that it's made out of real human meat? Do you think she was like, I was hoping for one of those Beyond babies, you know? Whenever I see a woman with a set of twins, I think to myself, I bet the dumber one is for spare parts. I have a lot of female friends who are into witchcraft. I don't know why, maybe it's just an artsy lady thing, but I've got a lot of friends who are like, I'm a witch. And it's like, all right, Rebecca, that's great. Knock yourself out, whatever makes you happy. But if I had one dude friend that was like, I'm a wizard, I'd be like, oh yeah, Mike, you're a fucking wizard. You're a fucking idiot is what you are, all right? Jeez. So I'm having sex with the human resources guy at my job. Woo, yes. It's a good gig if you can get it. If you can get the guy who gives lectures on sexual harassment to squeeze your ass in the break room, get away with whatever you want. I'm late every day. I'm the one that's always eating everybody's yogurts from the fridge. You could keep leaving those Post-it notes all you want. Actually, none of that's true. Well, it's true that I'm banging the HR guy, but he's been the boyfriend of 10 years and I never got away with shit. Get away with far less than everybody else, actually. And now because of the virus, he's been furloughed. So he's no longer the HR guy. Now he's just the janitor of our house. So I've been back at work for a few weeks now. And they've been taking everybody's temperatures with those gun style thermometers that they point at your head, which I was surprised when I found that out because the security guard at my job has been checking mine rectally this whole time. So we had to have an awkward conversation about that. I couldn't even complain to HR because he's downstairs on the couch playing Wonderwall. I had a job a few years back where my boss was from like a vastly different culture. So he would always say this really inappropriate stuff to me. So, because there was no political correctness from where he came from. So one day he comes out with, "Hey, Kate, did you ever wonder why your boyfriend doesn't want to marry you?" And I was like, "Oh, this is going to be good." And I was like, "Okay, well, why? Why doesn't my boyfriend want to marry me?" And he goes, "Because he knows you've been divorced. He knows you've been with another man." And I was like, "Okay, Muhammad thinks that I've only had sex with 2 guys my entire life." I was like, "Dude, I've had a turnstile put in on this thing, okay? Like, all you need is a Metro card and you can just swipe it on through. Ask me about the rideshare program. If my boyfriend doesn't want to marry me, it's because of the Watch the Gap sign. And the rats and the construction guys wearing helmets." This is all like a New York City subway joke. Kills up here. It's one of my best jokes up here, I swear. Everyone in Texas is like, "What?" Anyway, I was told the other day that I look like a young Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I was conflicted about that compliment. It's like, yes, she's the greatest woman of our time, but no, nobody thinks about her when they're jerking off. Speaking of feminism, why are there no lady burglars in the ADT home invasion commercials? Like what? Feminism's not there yet? Like I can't break into your house and fuck shit up? I can. I mean, I might need help getting your TV out of your house, but I can do it. I could smash your family portrait. They always take the extra 2 seconds to show the smashed family portrait, you know, as if burglars are that detail oriented, you know. I actually had 3 guys break into my apartment last summer. It was this room right here. Actually, my bedroom is the next room. This is a good thing about these Zoom shows, is that you get to be like, it actually happened here. So my bedroom is right there, and it was like 3:30 in the morning, and I hear the window that's right here open up. And I was like, that's funny. Either my stray cats are suddenly much stronger, or someone's coming into my fucking house. So I get up, I run into the next room, I flip the light on, and I see a white guy, a black guy, and a Latino guy climbing into my art studio. And I was like, holy shit, check out the diversity on you guys. It's like so nice to see in Trump's America, 3 young men from different backgrounds coming together to accomplish something, you know? Like, where the hell did you guys meet? The United Nations of Home Invasion? Like, what are you, fucking besties from burglary college? Jesus Christ. Luckily, they ran right out the window again upon seeing me in my underwear. They were like, holy shit, it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg in her underwear. Let's get out of here. So I actually have one of these super militant feminist friends. I don't know if you guys have any of those. They spell women differently. Like instead of W-O-M-E-N, it's like M-X-N or M-Y-N. So she's on the internet the other day saying that she's locked in her bathroom because there's a mouse in the kitchen, and she has to wait for her husband to get home to get the mouse. And I was like, I think you have to go back to spelling women the normal way. I don't think you're allowed to be insane feminist and afraid of mice at the same time. I don't think those two go hand in hand. So anyway, that's my time. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate being here, and I hope you have me back again.
What a great show we're having, don't you think? if you think so, and I think so, I think everybody thinks so, then, you know, donate to our Comedy Wham PayPal, because we will share the donations that you make with all of the comics that you see tonight. And isn't that worth it? I mean, if you're just home in your pajamas on the couch or even in your bed, then, you know, why wouldn't you donate a little bit of money? It's like paying for, well, no, I'm not going to go there. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, donate. And then if you particularly love somebody, then you can see right down there, you can donate to their Venmo and show them a little extra love. I think we're halfway through the show tonight. It's been fantastic. And I'm excited. We've had some folks from all over the country, and we're about to have somebody again from Austin, Texas, right here. And she's been on the show before. We really, really love her. And I think if you haven't gotten to see her before, you're going to love her too. She uh, she's working on becoming a ninja. I'm calling her out. She's been taking jujitsu classes, so don't mess with her. But really, she's been doing comedy for just over a year now. It must be more than a year now, because she's been saying that in her credits since we started back in March. So it's got to be over a year now. Heading towards 2, and she's getting ready to launch a podcast. Maybe she didn't want me to say that she was going to do it, but I'm calling her out now and saying that she's about to launch a podcast. So there you go. Now she has to do it. All right, please everybody give a big hand to our next comic, Katie Felton.
They really love me. Yeah, I always feel like I need to launch a podcast just so I can have credits for people to boast about me, but hasn't happened yet. Maybe it'll just be the credits to Katie podcast. That'll eventually happen. As Valerie said, I am doing jujitsu now. I started in February, but have been getting more into it as of recently. So I'm thinking after quarantine, I'm just gonna shave my head and go by Joe Rogan. So help my comedy career. I am 31 now and doing some introspection at getting older. I do feel like now I'm starting to feel my age. I have always felt young up until this point, but starting to feel more out of touch with the youth. My knees are creaking a little bit more than they used to. And so I downloaded an app that just daily reminds me, like my internal clock is ticking, my biological clock is ticking, my eggs are drying up. The name is pretty fitting. It's called TikTok. If you're feeling old, don't download that. But if you do have it, follow me at the same handle as my Instagram. What else has been happening? I've been talking to my mom every day in quarantine. I walk my dog and then I talk to my mom. And without a doubt, within the first 5 minutes of our conversation, she has to hand the phone to my dad to use the restroom. So I've been Pavlovian conditioning her to use the bathroom, which is great, but I'm also nervous because I'm going over to my parents' house, which they live in Scottsdale, mid-November to December. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to miss the whole trip with her because she'll be in the bathroom the whole time. Yeah, it's going to be upsetting, but it'll also be better because then I won't have to spend a whole month with my parents the whole time. I am doing jujitsu, which is like pretty intense, and I guess I'm like strangely drawn to combat exercises. Like I used to do roller derby, which is pretty aggressive, which is interesting because I'm not that aggressive in my real life. I think I'm just probably overcompensating for something. But if you don't know, in roller derby, you have to come up with a fun nickname, which they like announce you and they call you as you're rolling around. Usually it has to do with some of your likes or interests or a personality trait. My birthday is St. Patrick's Day, so I wanted to do something that was like related to the Irish. So I picked leprechaun. Yeah, it was fun. I learned a lot doing roller derby. I made some good friends. I learned how to check some girls. And mostly I learned when you invite people to call you a cunt, they take advantage of it. I too have lost weight in quarantine. I lost 15 pounds, which has been, thank you, exciting, but also the worst time to glow up because nobody notices. Like you're seeing people every day. You only get this little square space. And since I don't want to be like, look at me, I don't bring it up. So I'm thinking I'm just going to chop off my head so people will notice. And that's an easy 15 pounds to lose. So 30 pounds and I'm just 10 away from my goal weight then. And then Vikram's sister and I could be like a Dr. Atkins of the just chop off your limbs diet, I think. We'll sell bars or something. I don't know. It is interesting. I recently got back on the dating apps. Like I took a break with COVID. I was like, what's the point? But now I'm back. But like I said, weight loss hasn't been enough to be noticeable. So my pictures are still my old pictures. And I get messages from guys being like, oh, do you do like kinky stuff? Because I am a little bit bigger. The stereotype is that like big girls are freakier in the bedroom. So that's been a little discouraging because now I realize I have to lose like 100 pounds so people know this is missionary position only. Yeah, I just really, I'm doing the extra weight loss to really let the message sink in. It's dating is just like weird these days because I went on a date recently and the one question like all my dates have asked me are what's the worst date you've ever been on? Which I think is an interesting question because most of the time the guy's response when they're for their worst date is that like the girl didn't look like her pictures and like she was heavier than her picture showed or older than her picture showed. And in comparison, my worst date experience was that upon meeting him, he immediately told me that he doesn't pay for girls on the first date because it's never worked out for him in the past. Just a real red flag of that his personality couldn't get him over the finish line in that spot. And he had picked a Chili's to go to, so I don't think he's really going to be breaking the bank with those Southwest chicken egg rolls. But I was like, okay, that's fine. We can, like, people have different quirks. I'll give it a go. And then later into the date, he told me that he doesn't think Sandy Hook happened and our government is run by lizard people. Yeah. I think that's why girls are heavier than their pictures is because they are eating their feelings after going to eat I like to think of myself as kind of an intuitive, like instinctual psychic-y kind of person. Not that I'm like witchy like Katie was saying or Kate was saying, but just, I like to predict the future. So I brought some predictions for the rest of 2020 because, if it's going to get weirder, let's really lean into it. And I brought my predictions for you guys today. So Valerie, could you help me out by picking a color? Their choices are blue, pink, green, or red.
Let's go with pink.
Okay, pink. Pink. Your number choices are 1, 2, 5, or 6.
Ooh, let's go with 6, Katie.
6. Oh, okay. Pence's head fly is going to win the presidency. It happens. You heard it here first. Yeah, and that's gonna be it for me.
Now I have to get into character for the introduction to our next comic, because the introduction, the credits, if you can call them credits, were given to me in a very specific way. So let me be Colton for a moment. We're super excited to bring back from New York City. Oh, sorry. We're super excited to bring back from New York City. It's an amazing comic, and he is the most beautiful man. And I really want to kiss him. So there you go. That is my impression of Colton introducing our next comic from New York City, formerly from Austin. Please welcome back Jared McCorkle.
Thank you, Valerie, for that homophobic and accurate impression of Colton. I really appreciate that. That's great. I am really glad to be here. And I know it's a weird time, right? Because of all the suffering or whatever that's going on. But this is a really good time for me because it's Halloween. And I thought that I would start my set in kind of a festive way. I love Halloween, and it's not just because I'm gay. That is most of it, but I love it. And here's the thing. I've loved this since I was a little kid. So I said, I want to educate myself about Halloween, about the thing. And so I am reading a book. So I'm going to start my set. It's called Trick or Treat: The History of Halloween. Now this is exciting for me because I don't usually get to do a lot of prop stuff in my normal act. I have to do it. But in this case, this is going to be really fun. And I'm going to read you part of it, and because some of it stuck out to me, and I wanted to remind you guys that a few things. I'm going to read some stuff, and I can read it because I am gay, like I said, and a bad person. And also, I want to remind you guys that I did not write this book. Okay, so here we go. And to give you some background, what's really interesting about Halloween, I found out, is that it's always been celebrated for a long time, since it's like dawn, since it was like Samhain or Samhain or whatever it is, with like the bonfires and like the burning of bundles of sticks. That's been at bundles of sticks, big on fire, big part of it. So I read, this is a description from like 1879 in Scotland. I'm not going to do the accent, but just plug it in. So on the evening of the 31st of October, one remarkable ceremony is observed. Heath, broom, and dressings of flax are tied upon a pole. This faggot is then kindled. One takes it upon his shoulders and, running, bears it round the village. A crowd attend. When the first faggot is burnt out, a second is bound to the pole and kindled in the same manner as before. Numbers of these blazing faggots are often carried about together, and when the night happens to be dark, they form a splendid illumination. This is Halloween, and is a night of great festivity. Sorry, and then it just says faggot 7 times. Now, here's the thing. This is not my autobiography. I know it seems like that, but it isn't. And I just thought that was lovely. for a couple of reasons. One, it forced me to look up what this must mean. And I was pretty sure, but I just want to make sure. And I was really excited about this, is that when I was a kid, I used to look up that word in the dictionary, every day. And what it's, it started with bundle of sticks, and then it would say gay man. And I looked on the internet and it said gay man first. So moving up in the world, I feel like that's very important. Okay. So happy Halloween is what I wanted to tell you guys. What else can I say? I will say this. I have an anxiety disorder apparently, which is not bad, but I've been reading about it, and part of it was is intrusive thoughts. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, intrusive thoughts, which is dumb to me as a name, because I feel like all my thoughts have always been intrusive. Like, isn't that kind of how thoughts are supposed to work? Like, do you invite any of your thoughts? Have you been like, oh no, I gave them permission to be here? Like, and I understand that's literal, but to me, it is a terrifying person that looks inside the contents of their consciousness and doesn't feel a bit intruded by it. If they're just like, oh, this is wonderful, this is beautiful shit. So that as the thing. Now, okay, so the reason that I've been so anxious, I guess, for the last year, and this is, by the way, you're going to be sad for me for part of this, but then it's going to get really, you're going to laugh at me a lot and it's going to be really fun, is that I had a really bad breakup. It was really hard. And first of all, let me say, like, I'm talking to almost all of you to relate to this. And if you've never been dumped before, you're not even a person. You think you are, you're not. And you are. So I'm just going to talk to the normal people who've had a really bad breakup. And when you're dealing with this, your friends and family are all going to say the same thing to you, because you're going to imagine that, that person has a better life now, and they're with like somebody who's better and they're happy and everything like that. And you're going to believe your friends when they tell you that that's all in your head, until you open up, you see an article in the Washington Post that has your ex-boyfriend and his new fiance kissing, really happy. And it's going to turn out, and by the way, fiance is a French word. I assume it means pedophile. I don't know, but it's really fucked up. And here's the thing. They are together. And what kills me about that, honestly, is that, like, I thought print media was dead, first of all. Honestly, but Satan brought it back to ruin my life, apparently. And I don't understand it. And okay, so here's that might seem weird. Like, why is he on the Washington Post? It's because apparently there was this thing called #Proud Boys. If you guys are familiar with like the Nazi people or whatever, Proud Boys. So this was a thing that gay men did where they I guess like we're trying to co-opt that to like piss the Proud Boys off or whatever. And like, which just bothers me because, like, honestly, usually when there's like a really bad breakup or whatever, you can be like, oh, I'm not happy. But it's like the article literally said like perfect, beautiful gay man and his relationship destroys hate. And like, just, that's not fair. A couple things too, is it said that he fought hate with this, like, but I have to say he created some hate too. Like, I'm just saying a little bit of hate in me. So that's the thing. It also puts me in a really awkward position. You know what I mean? Because like, I have to root a little bit for the Proud Boys now. Like, not totally, but like at least to that degree, because I mean, if you think about it, like, because like, let's say there was a situation where he and his fiance were like hanging out, and some Proud Boys came up, and I'm there, and, I'm not stalking him. I'm just like outside his house for some reason. And there's like a fucking Proud Boy, and the Proud Boy is like, like, you two shouldn't be together or whatever. I would be obligated to be like, yes, correct. Not for that reason, but just I'm not with you. So I'm just saying, I don't really have a good way to end this, but I'm happy for him, I think, is what I'm trying to get to. I will say, I'm just going to shift gears and talk about something that's not as bad, but the whole Trump getting COVID thing. Here, I don't know. Do you want him to die? I don't think I want him to die. I really don't. What I would like instead is if he would just slip into like a beautiful coma, just like a coma for like 5 months, and it's just wonderful. And then we could put him like in a sarcophagus, and just an awesome golden sarcophagus, just like filled with diamonds and everything like that. And then we could just put that at the bottom of like the Marianas Trench or whatever, where he could sleep the sleep of the innocent, you know, until he's dead. And I think that'd be great. It really, by the way, this isn't so much a joke, is that like the people that thought it was a hoax, like that is the saddest form of liberalism to me, is that the first thing that you think is that he made that up. And what it is it's just this feeling you have that like even nature won't allow good things to happen. Which I thought was crazy because like we had been telling everybody, rightfully so, that this was an infectious disease that was like airborne, or at least like your air spittle. And this moron never wears a mask and he has contempt for the idea, but then he gets sick. Like, I don't know, it's probably not that. That's probably not. It's probably his mastermind plan. But yeah, do I have anything else? Sure. Less. I'm sure I have more important things. I'll say I want to say this just because I thought it was hilarious. This is very new. This is something somebody told me right before the show, which was that, and she's a lovely person, but it was, if you cut your hair, you should think about donating your hair to just donate it. Which to me is like my wiry gray hair. That's what I should donate to Locks of Love, I guess, in case they know any like ghost children who had chemo in the underworld and lost all their hair, and they still want to look beyond the grave, but like not like gross and bald or something like that. So yeah, I guess that's a good work I could do on Halloween. And I'm gonna end on a joke I often do, but it's mostly for Halloween, just because I think like it's appropriate. And because it's about death, and I think about death a lot, because I'm fun, and what it is. I want to know what's going to happen to my body when I die, and the reason I want to know is because like my grandmother died and she got buried, and I knew her for a long time, and she never asked to be buried, and it's just the default setting, and so I have what I want to happen. I don't want to be buried. I have a way better idea. I want to be like scattered just like on a beach somewhere, but I don't want to be cremated. That's what I would like, is to have my body cut up into several like softball sized chunks and just like scattered in front of some rich douchebag's Palm Beach condo, because I think that would be really fun for me. Thank you so much. This was really fun. Give it up for Valerie.
Give it up for Jared, bringing us down, talking about death. Oh goodness, I did want to make a one fact check to Jared's set. He talked about fiancé, and he said that was French for pedophile. As a native French speaker, I would like to correct Jared and say that fiancé actually means pédophile. So just wanted to correct him on that. It's important that we're all as accurate as possible on a comedy show, especially one that's online, because there's never going to be any proof of this ever existed. Please know that if you are watching this and you miss an old show, you can actually catch archived episodes on YouTube, Twitch, your memories, your distant memories. What, producer? How much time do we have left? No, sorry. Bootleg DVDs, yes, all of it. VHS tapes, even the Betamax tapes. All right, I've gone down a wormhole. Let's let's move on. We have one more comic for the night, and I'm super excited that she has set some time to join us tonight. She's been on the show before. We were actually her very first online show. And one of my favorite memories of that show is that she had this really glamorous gold curtain behind her. And since then, she's done a whole bunch of other online shows, and she's back to doing live shows. And sadly for Austin, she has moved, but lucky for LA, she is now in LA. And I'm super, super happy that she's joined us tonight. She has an album out. It is fantastic. Go check it out. It is called Trash Baby. and it's just one of the best albums of. See, that came out in 2019, I think. She will fact check me for sure. Please give it up, everybody.
Okay. Hi. How's it going, y'all? It's so funny that Valerie would mention like my glamorous backdrop, you know, in my affordable Austin home where like I could make it comfortable. Now you guys can see the shitty digital backdrop because I live in poverty. I don't want you guys to see how I live. Why would I do this to myself? Who moves to LA in a pandemic? I hate it. It's on fire. Please, somebody get me. Okay. I'm done. I got that out of my system. I got it out of, okay, here's the thing, is I'm spoiled. I didn't know how spoiled I was until I got here because you don't think, like coming from Texas, especially if you're not a person with money in Texas, you don't realize how broke you actually are. Because Texas okay is LA broke. Like the kind of apartment I can afford here, like I didn't even know, did you know they don't have central air? Like, okay, sorry, air conditioner that you can feel everywhere is called central air, okay? And not everyone gets that. In California, you get a box that spits on you, and that is called air conditioning. And you have to stand directly in front of it to feel that cool spit. That is the only time you feel hydrated at all. You are just so dry and so thirsty all the time. There is water here. Sorry, I'm making it sound like the state of California will let me have water. I'm sorry. It's been wild. It's been an interesting culture shock. I'm still working a day job. When I don't do comedy, I work at a cosmetic store, which is a very dangerous place to be right now, honestly. People are not great at wearing their masks. When I see the way people wear masks, I'm like, this is why birth control fails. They are like, it's not just that they don't, like, I feel like in Texas, people just don't want to wear their mask. In California, they confidently wear it wrong. Like I see them put it on and then like it maybe halfway goes up their nose and they go, oop, nope. Got it. And they stop it right under the nose like they think it goes that way. It's in the shock. They're just so comfortable with it. They get way too close to me. And then, okay, this is an overgeneralization, but I'm just going to say it. I'm probably going to annoy the hell out of anyone from California, but like Californians are a little slow, just a little bit. I've just been asked some of the most genuinely stupid questions I've ever heard in my life, day after day. Day one, I was selling this woman some skincare products. She asked me about a face wash. She goes, now this is the face wash, right? And I said, yes. And she goes, do I wash it off or leave it on? I just hate when someone asks me a question where the answer is just repeating their question. So I was like, do you wash the face wash? It's a wash for your face. So yes, you do what? Face wash. There we go. Like, I hate that. I know I'm going to get complaints. I am going to get fired for being rude as fuck. Yesterday, this guy asked me for a single eyeshadow, and then I showed him where they were. And then he came back and goes, is this a single eyeshadow? And I was like, how many are in your hand? And he was like, one. And I was like, and one is singular. There we go. I can't help it. I don't know how to talk to someone who I'm not sure. Like, and everyone can't be high. They can't be high. Maybe they're high. Maybe everyone's high and I just don't know how to recognize the signs. And I could save myself a lot of time by not being around people. I don't know. To me, these are devastatingly stupid questions. I'm sure there's somebody in the audience who's just like, what? You do wash face wash off? I don't know. To me, these are just easy things. But yeah, it's been a lot going on all at once. But I've been thinking a lot. I've had a lot to think about. I love, even though things are crazy right now, and you know, we've got a very important election coming upon us, I am proud to be an American. I really am. I'm so proud to be an American because we have the best anthems. America has the best anthems. We have the best songs that make you feel like you can do anything. Eye of the Tiger, The Final Countdown. When you hear stuff like that, you're like, I can make it through. And I think the reason why we have that is because our healthcare is shitty. You need a song to listen to on the Lyft ride to the ER. Like when I'm about to bleed out in the back of an Uber, I want to hear Living on a Prayer. I can't listen to a Canadian anthem for that. I can't imagine listening to Alanis Morissette talk about the one time things were weird. I need to hear something that says you're gonna make it. All right, you're halfway there. That's what I need to hear. I love a good anthem. I love good American music. During the beginning of quarantine, one of my favorite singers of all time died, and I was very sad. But I feel like she's underappreciated because I feel like not a lot of people knew who she was. Betty Wright. Are you guys familiar with Betty Wright? No, there's white people in here. No. Every time I say Betty Wright, y'all are like, Betty White died? I'm like, no, all right, listen to that R. Betty Wright, soul singer, absolute talent. She died at the beginning of quarantine, I think the same week as Little Richard. And I don't think people made a big enough deal about it. She was such a talented writer. If you don't know her, you know this song. Her big song was called The Cleanup Woman. And she's like, cleanup woman is a woman who gets all your man's love. I'm not going to sing because I'm not a great singer. But the point of the song is this beautiful imagery because she talks about how the cleanup woman sweeps your man off his feet. Come on. Great pun there. And takes all the love you leave behind. I was like, this is actually really well written. So one day I was driving and I decided to listen to her whole catalog. And I found her album from 1974. And it had The Cleanup Woman, a song about a man being taken by a woman who cleans up. But it also had a song called The Secretary, which is a song about Betty Wright losing her man to his secretary. And I was like, hold up, that's very similar premises. I look at it, they both came out the same year. So I was like, this is the same dude. He cheated on you with the cleaning lady and his secretary. And then I keep looking, and not only is the secretary a song, the cleaning lady, the cleanup woman's a song. There's also a song called, you guessed it, The Babysitter. The Babysitter. Why the God? First of all, he shouldn't even be home when the babysitter's home. That's the point, is for the babysitter to take care of the kid when you can't be there. Betty must have been so stressed. She wrote I forgot about the fourth one. Her fourth song is called Your Best Friend. The descent of this is horrible. At one point, these women aren't even employed. They're just any woman can you imagine being this stressed out dating somewhere you just don't know where this is gonna go? I would love to hear the B-sides, because back in the day, songs would make the record, but then there'd be songs that wouldn't make the record. Like, what if she wrote a song that was like, don't trust the bitch at the ATM? How stressed out was she? What was every day like? Was she just like, I know that's not your cousin. I know that's not your cousin, because cousins don't hug like that. I don't know, just the thought. Just the thought of how stressful it was to keep a man in the 70s. I'm so glad we have social media and it's so much easier to catch them cheating. So you don't have to worry that they're with the meter maid all the time. It just sounds stressful. I don't want that problem. I'm speaking from a very cocky place because I have a good husband, so I can just say whatever I want. I do. I have the best husband in the world. He's really nice. He's really supportive. He's great. Honestly, the only thing I realized I didn't like about him is I love him, but I don't think I'm meant to be married to him all day. I was born in 1989. We're living in 2020. I just think a 24-hour marriage isn't supposed to work. I think you're supposed to have a 9-to-5 marriage. The opposite. You wake up, you're married until you go to work, and then you go to work and you're married when you get home. But being married all day is really tiring. Just listening to someone ask you where the breadcrumbs are 3 times a day. I don't like it. I'm not the same place breadcrumbs are always at, I don't know. I love him, but I think I want to go back to a non-quarantine marriage real soon. I literally want to be like, we need to see other people. Literally, I need to see people, at least half their faces. I need out. How much more time do I have? Am I done? Okay, so am I done, or do I have one more minute? Okay. One more thing I was thinking about recently that just kind of made me laugh, and this is really dark, and I hope this doesn't make all of your fans hate me. But listen, I don't like how conservatives are so obsessed with how late of an abortion they think we can get. Like, what is that? They have it in their mind that we just like shoot a baby in the back when they run in an alley, like Ricky from Boys in the Hood. Like, they have it in their mind that, like, what is this fascination with aborting fully born? We're not doing that. No one is just like birthing a baby and being like, never mind, you're done being alive. Like, the dramatics around how late they think we can get abortions is crazy. I don't know. That was just something I wanted to share. It just the mental image of shooting a baby as it runs away from you. I'm going to hell for that. Just deeply going to all the hell. Really, we were professional right up until this point. Oh, okay. I thought that was a fan being like, we were professional, and until you threatened born babies. All right. Bye, you guys. That's my time. Thanks for listening to me be silly. Thanks. Bye.
Am I supposed to follow that up? Really? Come on. All right. If you have enjoyed tonight's show, and why wouldn't you? We've talked about abortions, pedophilia, cocaine use, Mike Pence's fly, weird S&M turtle action. We have really covered the entire spectrum on tonight's show, and we didn't even have Colton here tonight. So imagine if he had been here, what we would have talked about. You can still donate to the Comedy Wham PayPal if you loved what you saw tonight. I would love a donation so that we can share it with the comics that you saw tonight. And if you want to give a little extra love, you can Venmo each of the individual comics as well. They get to keep all of that. And we will be back in 2 Fridays with another showcase. And we're super excited about that one. That is the final night of October before Halloween. It is also the final night before all hell breaks loose with the national election. So who knows if anybody's going to be around after that night. And next week, I will be back. Sorry, everybody. I will be back next Friday with a live Comedy Wham Presents, where I will be talking one-on-one with Anna Valenzuela, who you have seen here on Isolation Comedy. She's fantastic, a comic out of LA as well. And I think I have done all of the promos. Thank you to Colton for bailing out tonight so that I could do this. And thank you to Richard, our tech genius. Our comics know him as the voice of God. And thank you to Laura for envisioning this idea. And thank you to my cat for not interrupting the show tonight. So that's been great. Hope you enjoyed everybody that you saw tonight. I'm Valerie, and I will see you all soon. Stay safe. Bye.